Time for business news then on the programme. Stephen Carroll's joining us here on set. Stephen, you're starting today, aren't you, with Brexit. Reports then anyway of a potential breakthrough in the Brexit talks.
Those reports already having an impact on the markets. We've seen sterling strengthening significantly over the past 24 hours. Most recently, this is after reports that a deal has been reached to allow financial firms access to European Union markets after Brexit. If confirmed, it would be a boost for the UK ahead of its exit from the European Union next March. Now, this was first reported by the Times newspaper, which says that the tentative deal on services would require the UK to keep its financial regulations aligned to the EU's. Crucially, neither side would be able to withdraw market access without going through an arbitration process. That's seen as important to eliminate the element of uncertainty for financial firms. Financial services worth around 6% of the UK economy, the equivalent of €134 billion a year. The fear of losing access to EU markets after Brexit has already seen many firms plan to move staff and operations out of London. Now, this latest report coming after the UK's Brexit minister told MPs that he was expecting a deal to be finalised by the 21st of November. That comment taking some on the EU side by surprise, especially given that the issue of the Irish border has yet to be resolved. Speaking in Paris on Wednesday, Ireland's foreign minister said there must be movement from the UK by next week at the latest to allow for a November deal.
We all know what the remaining barrier is in the context of the withdrawal treaty. It's very much linked to the Irish border question and the backstop that has been committed to last December and last March. If there's follow through on the commitments that have been made, then I believe that there is a way forward that the two negotiating teams can deliver. If there's not follow through on those commitments, then it's hard to see how this gets done in November.
Now, as that news filtered through on Wednesday, sterling began rallying, and it's been strengthening further today after that report about the potential deal on financial services. Now, sterling trading up significantly against the dollar, 0.9%, you can see now, £1 trading for just under $1.29. Also strengthening against the euro, euro trading for 88p sterling. That's a stronger position than we'd seen in recent days. On the stock markets, European shares opening in the red. The FTSE 100 in London is down. It's worth remembering that stronger sterling tends to hurt companies listed on the FTSE 100 because they're mostly exporters. So some of the falls we're seeing are a reflection of what's happening on the currency markets. But we've also got Paris and Frankfurt in the red as well. A mixed picture in Asia as well in trading. Fresh concerns over the Chinese economy weighing on some investors' minds. The Nikkei in Tokyo closing down 1%, but gains on the Hang Seng in Hong Kong. The United States doesn't want to harm its allies with sanctions on Iranian oil, according to one of President Trump's top advisors. This ahead of new sanctions coming into force on Monday, which will restrict purchases of Iranian oil products and punish any foreign banks of countries that break the embargo. That could hit the likes of India hard, but it's being reported that Washington and New Delhi are discussing a special waiver. Georgina Robertson has the details.
It is a move that aims to choke Iran's biggest source of income. This fresh round of sanctions put Tehran and Washington at loggerheads. In 2017, Iran's petroleum exports were to the tune of $52 billion, nearly half of their total exports. In September, oil exports fell to their lowest level in 2.5 years, and shipments of crude dropped to 1.7 million barrels a day, down over 250,000 on the previous month. The impending sanctions already having an impact. Any country trading with Iran without US consent after sanctions kick in risks getting cut off from the American financial system.
The president said unmistakably our goal is maximum pressure and that it would be to drive Iranian oil exports to zero. So we want to achieve maximum pressure, but we don't want to harm friends and allies either. And we're working our way through that.
The US administration is known to be considering waivers for some countries that have cut their purchases of Iranian oil. The India Times is reporting that one such waiver is in the pipeline for India, after it decided to drastically cut oil imports from Tehran. India had imported about 22 million tonnes of crude oil from Iran in 2017 to 2018, but as a condition of the waiver, Indian oil firms would reduce their imports to 15 million tonnes. The US State Department is expected to issue its exemption before the full brunt of the US sanctions pressure begins, but so far has remained tight-lipped.
Finally for me, Netflix is making a bid for Oscar glory with the decision to release 3 of its original movies in cinemas before on the streaming service. The film Roma by the Oscar-winning director Alfonso Cuarón will get a theatrical release first before it goes on Netflix. 2 others will get a similar treatment later this year. This is being seen as a concession to filmmakers, but also to the Academy Awards. They're thought to favour movies that have had a wider cinema release. Netflix has had lots of success at the Emmys, but they're going for that Best Picture Oscar.
Oh, that's fascinating, isn't it? It looks beautiful with all that film, so you never know. Could be a winner. Right, thanks a lot, Stephen. Stephen with Business on France 24.